Did you know that we have 6G now?
6G's actually been out for a while.
Really?
Yeah. They can measure EEG waves, like phones can measure EEG waves. And that basically can borderline read your thoughts.
Holy
and there's
crap.
a reason why you can get an ad for something and like you were thinking about it. 5G couldn't penetrate deep enough into the cell. And that's why, so what would happen is when all these towers were put up, you'd see kids that were, they would get burns underneath their skin just because the graphene cooks them from the inside out.
Jeez.
And this is what I've been explaining to people is your body's a liquid crystal, and a crystal is basically an antenna. So you have hundreds of thousands of millions of crystals in your body, and that's how your body communicates with itself. So how do they shut these things down? Heavy metals. You eat things that are improper, disrupts the communication between the body. You get into a state of consumption. Your autonomic functions shut down. It's so simple, but they overcomplicate it. And then you're talking to some doctor, you have a cancer disease, and there's a bunch of doctors in the room. They're saying stuff that's going over your head. Next thing you know, you're signing a document to get surgery. It's all money.
It's just different.
I am the world changer, coded by the blue storm. My number is 19, the power of all number. I am the master alchemist, the force behind the philosopher's stone. Skilled at the art of transmutation. I am the catalytic transformer of world consciousness and planetary living. I oversee the changes of the weather. I am the thunder that shatters your world systems. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies. It was I who caused the triple Aztec monuments of the Avatar archetype to appear in the ancient temple grounds. I oversee the morning and the evening stars. I behold the creator of the fifth sun, the present world. Sent forth am I to dwell among you, calling forth the sixth sun. For the great regeneration of the world's soul, to know me is to know your own power of self-generation. To know me is to know your own power of self-generation. Self-generation is power. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies.
All right, greetings and in Lakesh, Neb Taharka here, welcoming you on December 25th on the Gregorian calendar is labeled as Christmas. Today is a very significant process and kin and plasma on the Mayan Olmec calendar of remembrance and evolution. So it is truly my pleasure to be here with you to share some enlightening knowledge. And this session is titled The End of False Time. Now, one of the things about it, when you see this title, a lot of people could say, what does it have to do with anything that has to do with anything? The end of false time. Okay, what does that mean? Well, as so is your time, and your concept of time will produce a certain measure of mind, either a limited version up to a whole version, to be able to operate in this body to its fullest extent, so that you can have the fullest expression of the self, the power of God in you in this experience. So I want to get into this because it's the perfect time coming off of the winter solstice, this being Christmas on the Gregorian calendar, but more importantly, the evolutionary cycles that are before us right at our fingertips to help us advance in this particular life that we have right now. So it's truly my pleasure to be here. And I want to just reintroduce myself. My name is Neb Taharka Kanish Kawak, and I am the founder and chancellor of the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. I want to just start with the prayer of the seven galactic directions to bring us into vibrational alignment, because it's not about being able to say certain things and be on this surface level and look like things are well. This is about being able to be deeply entrenched and connected to the all-pervading aspect of ourselves that magnetizes what we want to experience in our life. Okay, so I want to start with the prayer, the seven galactic directions. From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with the harmonies to end all war. And from the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Hunabku Eva Maya E Maho. Ayum Hunaku Eva Maya E Maho. Ayum Hunabku Eva Maya E Maho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo, and so it is. All right. I want to make some acknowledgments to the source of all creation, the Galactic Federation, star masters and star elders, ancestors. I want to give thanks to the foundation of the Law of Time and also the Mimic Priesthood. I want to give thanks to Jose Arguez, Ken 11, Valoon Votan for being the closer of the cycle of 2012, and Wanique Kimi Tahuti Shabazz, who is the opener of the new cycle, Ken number 86, the Red Queen, High Priestess Ma'at, Dr. Jewel Pukram, Ken 211, 212, I should say. And also, I am so delighted, Tainetta Muhammad as well, to give some thanks to her. And there's so many other people that are now coming into this cosmology as a way to be able to position ourselves naturally, align with the synchronicity so that we can become our whole self. Now, you hear me refer to the self as not this physical being, but the power of God in us. And it's that self that is prepared to take you on this evolutionary trajectory to supersede your circumstances, clear up your galactic karma, and fulfill your galactic purpose on Earth. All right. Our vision statement is to transcend our minds deep into our cosmic memory circuits as we awaken from a deep state of amnesia in order to move from the information age into the telepathic age of our existence and establish a new world order of highly telepathic beings. And that would be as the norm. All right, some key points that we're going to talk about. When we're talking about ending false time, this is in direct correlation with your state of consciousness. As so, your concept of time will be your concept and capabilities of your mind. All right, so we're going to talk about the Julian and the Gregorian calendar convergence, a false measure of time. What's the solution? We're going to talk about the 13 moon calendar, the power of synchronicity that those of you who are listening can use in this moment. cosmic memory and the declaration of evolution. Let's get into it. So when we talk about the end of false time, we're talking about the Julian and the Gregorian calendar that has really put us into following a calendrical system that is designed to build artificial intelligence. The Julian calendar started 468 or 46 BC by Julius Caesar, and it accounted for a leap year every fourth year. Now, we'll find out that this was an error layer. I call it the error in time that created the Tower of Babel. The irregular time created an irregular mind, and now we are have the inability to move beyond artificial constructs. Very key. So the Julian calendar was off 11 minutes per year. The Gregorian calendar was first introduced February 24th, from what I understand, in 1582, in the bull Inter Gravismas, or in the gravest concern. And I'm going to tell you something. Although this is Christmas on the Gregorian calendar and all the lights, and there'll be a bunch of fireworks and New Year's, we are in the gravest concern we're fighting for the last phase of the human psyche, to be its own mind. All right. And so in the gravest concern, we are reliving right now 1582 here in 2024. The Gregorian calendar was proclaimed in 1582 by Pope Gregory the 13th. Now you'll find that 13th is going to be a significant number in what we will introduce as the 13 moon calendar. And look here, it is as a reform of the Julian calendar. Now, they wanted to reform the Julian calendar because of its incorrect measure and accounting of leap years. And so what happened is the Gregorian calendar actually started on October the 4th, 1582. And then they advanced the date by 10 days. So October 4th was on a Thursday, followed by Friday. And instead of Friday being October the 5th, it was October the 15th. Where did the days go? Where did the time go? And would this be considered perpetuated forward in era in time that would affect us here in 2024? And I'm going to show you where that is the case. Although the reform was welcomed by some astronomers, many Protestants saw it as the work of the Antichrist and refused to adopt it. Isn't that something? That the Antichrist is working hard in every era, every century about something. And the Gregorian calendar was gradually accepted by countries of Europe, even though Russia did not accept till 1918. So it took almost 400 years for Russia to accept this. Now, this was in a time, and our telepathic group really did some work in retrocognition about what was happening during this time. And this was the time where the free world was being explored. That was the theme. Okay. And so distracted by following this calendar, not thinking, and because we think of a calendar as a linear format, we wasn't thinking about the calendar from an energetic format. So as we use different calendrical systems to trigger our mind and memory, we know that not only was this done incorrectly as a result of those of us who aspire to evolve, we know that it's an error in time that has to be fixed for us to evolve properly. Okay. And so these are some of the things that have come of age for us to end false time now and forevermore. All right. So this is what the calendar looked like. And as you can see, on where it says 4, which is Thursday, right? And then the 15th, it jumps to on Friday. All right. Now, we know as we reconstructed the calendar of what it would have been, we have what's called the 13 moon calendar. And we also have the 260-day calendar of cosmic memory. We call the Zokin. It's a way to spiritually advance. We realize that the big part of this that is so powerful is that if we would have had that calendar back then, we would have seen the consciousness that would have been skipped. with each of those 10 days. This is why we call the days plasmas, and we don't call them days anymore because we're not in the days. Listen to what it sounds like. The days of the week, right, is anything, let me get my week right, right? What is week about you? What is us? What is the purpose of us being in the days? And you might think that that's some surface level schematic, but we are actually walking around in a daze in a state of amnesia because 90% of our experience comes through our subconscious mind. Okay, if you don't believe me, then why is it hard to break habits? Why is it hard to stop smoking? Why is it hard to do something different? Because the subconscious records our actions, attitudes, and dispositions and plays it back to us in circumstances. And every time we judge these different circumstances with emotions, we're telling the subconscious to keep playing that movie, to keep playing that story. And so this is why I think it's imperative not only that we shift our calendar from artificial time into natural time. I would go as far as to say that we can't fully evolve in our mind following the Gregorian calendar, or irregular calendar, as our main calendrical system. And so while many people out here celebrating, I hear a lot of people talking about, hey, when the new year starts, I already know nothing new is going to happen for 99% of people, because it's not designed to be new. It's designed to feed back through the loop. It's a feedback loop because it's more designed for artificial intelligence to evolve and not the human consciousness. And you'll see that if you really look at things and see how much the human psyche has evolved, the human consciousness versus artificial intelligence or computers, there's no comparison. Because one, we're using the binary code, right? And the decimal mathematical system. And the other is the system of nature and synchronicity and the vigesimal mathematical system. And so as we study and tap into the vigesimal mathematics, we realize that we're only using about 1/1,000,000th of our brain power. We're using about 1/1,000,000th of our memory. And where in those memories are you in an alternate reality accomplishing and superseding the circumstances that you're experiencing right now that concern you? Where are you a better version of yourself in these memories? And so by us only using about 1/1,000,000th of our potential, does it make sense? Would it be a bad idea, family, for us to indulge in something a little bit different to see how we can get into 2 millions? That means we'll be double the memory that we have right now. And in those memories is power and authority and absolute abilities. What about 3 millions, 4 millions, 5 millions? We reach to a state where we're ungovernable because we practice self-governance, that our governing capabilities are strictly rooted on karma and nothing else. And we understand the laws of karma dharma, so we clear up our karma, we clear up our galactic karma, and we're able to remove blockages, and then we're able to fulfill our galactic purpose in the process. And in that process, we're able to access faculties of the mind, like extrasensory abilities, telepathic abilities, by synchronizing with the cosmic cycles that give us access to our cosmic memory. This was a problem 442 years ago, and now that we figured it out, it's time to remove it as an issue and take back possession of your mind, YouTube, of your mind, Instagram, of your mind, Facebook, of your mind, TikTok. It is time to take possession of your mind. And you need to declare and decree that that's what you're here to do, or else the time that you follow, the artificial time, will take possession of your mind and use it as an energy vector to build an artificial matrix with the circumstantial persona and a false God that's going to have you expiring instead of inspiring your way into the promised land. And what is the promised land? Your memory and states of consciousness that's beyond where you are right now. That's the promise. It's a promise to you. It's a promissory note because it is granted to you at birth. We were born to win and conditioned to fail. So you can see the Gregorian calendar. Here we go. Moving into 2025, man. I'm going to make these new goals in 2025. I'm going to get this bag in 2025. And some people are studying the cosmology, excited about being able to go into 2025. What we're going to do is change chronos. We're going to change how time works because we're going to become time. The divine time is us. The divine timing is us and how we naturally evolve through space. So when you look at this calendar, you say, oh man, what does the calendar have to do with consciousness? Well, look at this. When you start studying the meaning of the 12 months, you say January is the doorway of God. That's when we start the new year, dead in winter in Northern Hemisphere. February is an obscure reference to a type of entrails used in a form of divination. What form of divination? All right. Today is Wednesday, hump day, Christmas. Well, where is my connection to the cosmos so I can evolve? Well, I don't know, Nepta Harker. Well, listen, that's what I'm interested in because evolution is the solution. I'm not interested in these artificial processes that don't help me trigger my mind, not to be angry, not to be sad. I want to trigger my mind to evolve and not devolve. If I gotta be here in this body and with all the power of spirit in me and I can do all these things, but I can't evolve, what is the purpose? If I got all this memory and all I'm gonna do is focus on fallacies and irregular time measurements, what am I doing on a deeper level in this experience? March is named after Mars, the god of war. April and May are named after obscure floral goddesses of the springtime. June is named after Juno, the wife of Jupiter. July is named after Julius Caesar. August is named after Augustus Caesar. And check this out. Here's a story for you. Augustus used to be the month called sextile, which means six. And Augustus Caesar figured out that if Julius had a month named after him, this is what we're about to celebrate, y'all. If Julius had a month named after him, then Augustus also wanted a month named after himself. So he changed sextile. He robbed August of 30 days, right? At the time, it only had 30 days. He robbed February. It had 29 days and took one of those days and put it on August so it can have 31, just like Julius, his cousin. And that's what we're about to celebrate on January 1st with all of these fireworks, the conquest of the whole mind. And be excited about that. Right? So he took the 29th day from February, added to August, and now August has 31 days. September means 7. Septa means 7, but it's the 9th month. October means 8, but it's the 8th month. November, which means 9, is the 11th month, and December is the 12th month. That means 10. And so we're about to get real excited about achieving our new goals. Everybody, on January the 1st, we're going to lose weight and make money for about 2 weeks and then gain weight by the time next year and say we're going to do it all over again. New artificial years, resolutions create new artificial results that don't hit the mark. So now it's time to say, does this make sense? Does it make sense, IG? Does it make sense, Facebook? Does it make sense, YouTube, to follow this? Let me give you some more ammunition. My eyebrow was up. Let's look at some figures here. So 6 of the months are 31 days. 5 of the months are 30 days. 1 month is 28 days. And the total number of days is 365.25. Every fourth year is a leap year, and we cannot do a leap year anything that's divisible by 400 or 800. And that was the era of the Julian calendar. It's based on one solar orbit, and this is why it's only one circuit that is connecting to the brain, one solar orbit, and that's the Earth cycle around the sun. We call it a solar cycle. It promotes the time as a mechanical function powered by money and capitalism paradigm. The time is money paradigm is falling apart. It is a fallen angel. And it also builds the technosphere. Look at the technology that every few seconds, even when you're in a meeting, you got to check your phone. Your child is constantly asking, let me get on VR. Let me get on my tablet. Can I eat while I watch? Can I watch while I eat? Can I do this, that, and the other? The technosphere fear is very prominent and controls the human psyche today, to the point that we're in a state of amnesia and unable to access our galactic purpose, and we're unable to access 999 thousandths of our potential as it relates to memory. Now, the question is, those of you listening and that will listening, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to say, well, I'm just going to trust God and I know God is going to provide? Well, you are God right now and right here. You are the one. And if you don't do nothing about it, then nothing's going to get done about it. And so technology thrives and advances rapidly, and it makes it look like that you're advancing, that the human civilization is advancing, and they're advancing into a bear trap. They're advancing into more mental incarceration. And so the question is not if, but what are you going to do about it? And so all you got to do is make a decision. I need to do something about this. And bing, just like a ping on your phone or the technology, the intuition is going to speak to you and say, here's a tool to free your mind. How many of you on Facebook and how many of you in YouTube and Instagram really in your deepest hearts want to free your mind? See, I had a deep wanting and desire and yearning to free my mind 9 years ago. And I didn't care about status. I didn't care about what people thought. I said, look, no, I need to be in control of what's going on here, because I don't need to be coming back here. I like when High Priestess Ma'at talks about with a juice box in a car seat, doing this, trying to figure all this out again with less memory. I'm aware of it now, so let's fix it now. So this calendar is all mixed up, but it's for the purpose of the advancement of artificial intelligence. And as long as you are doing that, you can be rewarded financially. You can be rewarded with the relationships. But as soon as you catch wind that it's not helping you evolve, as soon as you take your foot off the gas, this system no longer supports you and leaves you for dead. I say, we have to do something about this. We got to stop playing around, and we got to do something about it right now, not another day. So you'll see that this calendar is obsolete. New Year's, we get ready. We got a woo in a hat, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pop the champagne, and we're gonna shoot off the bottle rockets. Right? We're going to fire out the guns. We're going to take the guns, machine guns, and the street sweepers and go into the woods in the backyard and for something that is obsolete. And obsolete means it does not, when it's obsolete, it's time to delete and enter in a new program and process that helps you access the jewels in your mind that's lie dormant for centuries and lifetimes. It is your time to evolve, and that time is now. Who owns your time owns your mind. Change your concept of time, and you will change what the power of your mind can do. You actually will empower your mind. Change your mind, and you create your world. Therefore, you can change your world. Isn't it easier to change your world if you create it? How you going to change your world? Because I'm creating it right now. So that puts us in a position of what I call self-acceptance, that I am the source and I am the creator of my own experience, my own world. And so therefore, when I change my world, I'm changing it because I'm creating a new world as we speak. And somebody I'm reaching right now because they sick and tired of being led astray into these artificial pathways that leads them into nowhere and nothingness, even with lots of money. I'm not saying anything is wrong with money, but we want fulfillment and money to have the resources to be more compassionate and empathetic in a world that is empty because of greed, jealousy, and envy. It is our time to sow back in to nature and all of her kingdoms. All right. So what's the solution? The solution is the 13 moon 28-day calendar. Did you know that we're following an artificial calendar? Because the moon is where a month came from. And wait a minute, the moon has 13 cycles instead of 12. Now, you can go get the 13th constellation, Ophiuchus, but it only has 19 days. So you have a 19-day month. You'll have a 28-day month. You have it all. It'll all be messed up. The whole calendar will have cognitive dissonance, and it won't want to change into what is really rightly so into. So we stick to the concept of 12. The physical cycles to the calendar state that the female avatar has 13 menstruation cycles a year that is supposed to be, when normal, 28 days apart. Start tracking your menstruation cycle on 13-day cycles, 13 plasma cycles, and watch your power of manifestation increase. I got people who study at the school. They don't track it on 13 cycles, but they still evolving. But if they did, some of them who did and does track it on the 13 moon calendar, they increase their power of magnetism because they're in sync with the cosmic cycles that's there to serve us and not oppose us. The 13 moon 28-day cycle, the 13 moon calendar is an evolutionary tool to assist humanity in the unprecedented act of uniting itself on one central issue in the gravest concern of mankind and womankind to complete its well-being. And that is time. Time is not a mechanical clock or watch or a digital watch. Time is not a calendar, a fallacious calendar that has no connection to the cosmic cycles. Time, write this down, is the evolution of consciousness. Time is the evolution of consciousness. And so when I evolve my consciousness, I create anew. So energy factor by time is art. The harmonic convergence of humanity on this one issue in its gravest concern, combined with the inescapable order of the synchronic order, perfection and simplicity of following the 13 moon calendar, will lift the species as a simultaneous whole into the galactic timing frequency. And guess what's going to happen? Evolution is going to take place. This is why I always say evolution is the solution. Don't go nowhere. Don't touch that dial right now. Go on and put your server in check, because what I'm about to say next is going to change your life. All right. This 13 moon calendar officially began July 26, 1987, and it corresponds with the heliacal rising of Sirius. Oh, the heliosphere, right? The rising of Sirius. Now, Sirius has already risen. That's why it's Sirius. And so what happens is it takes 52 years for Sirius B to revolve around Sirius A. And it's a direct connection, not only okay, it synchronizes with other calendar. So what's powerful about this, you don't have to change anything that you do. You just follow the synchronicities and everything because you're operating from a whole mind concept. It's considered an instrument of synchronicity that we call a synchronometer. So we want to follow a timekeeping method that synchronizes cycle. Why? Because it makes us more magnetic. It makes us more, okay, let me say that in layman's terms, in laywoman's terms. It makes us more attractive. We put on a lipstick and a nice hairline and our beard line. It makes us more attractive to the power of synchronicities and the ability to create. That's what following a synchronicity do. Let's look at the 13 moon cycle. The 13 moons, 13 months, it's 13 months. 13 moons with 28 days each. 13 times 28 is 364. And so where's the other day? Where's the +1, Neptahaka? And we have 1 day at a time. So everything can go back to start at the magnetic moon of purpose. We go from the magnetic moon of purpose to the cosmic moon of endurance. And there's 1 day that resets and we set a new purpose every 364 years. And we celebrate the accomplishment of that purpose on the day at a time through culture and arts and our ability to see and be deeper into the consciousness of the mind. Based on the 52-year cycle of Sirius B orbiting around Sirius A, is the 52-year path of the destiny for the human. So as you understand this path, this 52-year path, you become more telepathic, you become more clairvoyant, clairaudient, you become more extrasensory because you're anticipating and foreseeing and foretelling from the cycles who you are becoming in spirit and through the electrical light body, not through the physical body. It's going to age and expire, and the energy and the spirit can revitalize the physical body into its immortality. That's another conversation. All right. This calendar begins in the dog days of summer, July 26th, and ends on July 24th. And the day out of time is July 25th. What are you going to be celebrating on your day out of time this year? It synchronizes with cosmic, galactic, and spiritual cycles for the human species to what? The purpose of synchronizing cosmic cycles is to access cosmic memory, galactic cycles to clear up any galactic karma and fulfill galactic purpose, and spiritual cycles that help us evolve through the body and manifest as the spirit in the body. This is how the human species evolves into the telepathic, or I call it the synchronistic human. All right. So this is the new timing gauge. Okay. And it's based on the 1320 frequency of nature. Did you know that the 1260, the 12-month calendar, the 60-minute clock creates a consciousness lock? So you operate in a state of amnesia, unable to access your cosmic memory and evolve through the stronghold of these governmental agencies. The 1320 frequency evolves in space. And so you can have grass that just grows automatically. You have plants that grow up through concrete. See, the artificial matrix works to serve nature, not nature to be consumed by the artificial matrix. And that's what's happening right now. And that's why many of you are being awakened to be able to equalize this process. All right. So we're operating now after 442 years of irregular time in the new time of the telepathic human. And so we have shifted in the last 2 years from the information age into the telepathic age. The quantum leap is coming from the leap year that's ending, according to the Gregorian calendar, in the next 6 plasmas. The next 6 days. The law of time states that energy factored by time is what we create, is art. And in this equation, E refers to the phenomena and their processes of unfolding. This is the process of manifestation. Time is the present moment functioning according to the ratio constant of 1320. 1320 is the frequency of nature. 1260 is the frequency of mechanical artificial time, false time. Everything is shaped by time. The evolution of consciousness is art. Now just think about if you adopt this for yourself and you say, how am I evolving consciousness in this moment when you get upset? How am I evolving consciousness when I feel less than? How do I evolve consciousness when I come across a challenge? You see, now you create an opportunity to overcome, and time is art. You can see these calendars side by side. The Gregorian calendar on the left looks like sickle cell. Irregular months, irregular weeks, irregular days of the week, and it creates sporadic production that causes us to expire instead of inspire. And you could just by following the 13 moon calendar, you can increase your production just by following it and setting your goals in 13 cycles, 20 to 25% a year if you did nothing else. And I can show you how to do that. And I've done it myself. And then there's one day at a time. So we're shifting to the right now for those of us who can see it. Okay. And so now that we can accept, those of you, I know some of you may celebrate Christmas, you may not, but you have people in your family to do, and you want to see them, and you're caught in the middle. But I want you to know that you're serving an obsolete master in reference to time. And if you don't change, this artificial matrix is going to cause your codes to expire and no longer inspire. See, when you inspired, you in spirit. And when you in spirit, nothing goes along. We don't have problems, we have misalignments. We don't have problems, we have blockages that need to be removed. And so now Callens is to account for the evolution of consciousness, not money and taxation, from an entity that's dominating our thought process and making our ability to evolve weaker. Evolution is the solution. And it's not, it is a little different, but it's time to change your concept of time. It's time to change how you celebrate different dates and different experiences on the calendar, because we're linking ourselves to evolutionary cycles that we haven't been able to do before. So right now we're in the rhythmic moon, the rhythmic lizard moon of equality. The blue rhythmic storm solar cycle is the year that we're in according to the 13 moon cycle. I'm not basing this based on the Gregorian calendar, and the new year is January the 1st. I'm basing it on Star Sirius, because this other time has been corrupted. And it's time for us to wake up and get excited. Don't mistake my loudness for anger. It is, I'm passionate about the opportunity to evolve. Imagine where would we be without an opportunity to advance ourselves and evolve. We need to hug yourself and kiss yourself right now that you're in the presence of evolution, the concept, so that you can do it with yourself. You don't have to even do it with me. But know that it's available, and the power of your beingness, the power of yourself will guide you in ways that the artificial matrix cannot. So you can see this is what it looks like, and you can reach out to us and print this out. I got this printed out, and I follow it because this helps me to overwrite the programs, the artificial programs that's controlling my mental disposition. So we have to follow another pattern. And so it's so subtle for the calendar to program us. Many people don't even believe it. I didn't believe it at first until I start digging and doing my due diligence. And I just so happened to open Pandora's box. And Pandora needed to come out and show this is how you evolve. It is your nature to evolve. You don't have to get permission or be in a religion to evolve. It is your nature, just like the cosmos evolves into more and more galaxies as we speak. So you need to learn the 13, learn how to remember the 13 moon calendar. And we show you in some of our classes how it flows through your brain and your mind so that you can become the synchronic order that's the power of nature and be able to access yourself in ways that you can't access with an artificial mind. There's only so far you can go spiritually with an artificial mind. There's only so much you can believe in Jesus or Buddha or any other deity until you realize, as you study yourself, they're talking about you can do all they can do and much more if you just believe. What's wrong with that? Would that make this world a better place? Would it make your world a better place to practice self-governance and to be able to teach self-governance and being responsible and accountable and clearing up our karma without having to be put in jail or taken somewhere and told that you need to do X, Y, Z? You already know it is your job and purpose to clear up your karma. Synchronicity refers to the underlying cosmic intelligence that synchronizes people, places, and events into a meaningful, I like to change that word into purposeful order. Do you have a purpose for everything that you do? And if you don't, why not? If you want to give it power, one of the talks I'm going to be doing in the next 2 weeks or heptads is called the 90-10 principle of synchronicity, how you use the power of purpose to attract 90% of the synchronicities that are going to come and support you on your behold. Because you have a meaningful order. We experience synchronicity when an outer events corresponds with our inner thoughts, perceptions, and feelings, and we become aware of it, and it is our intention to maximize that experience. Whew. The synchronistic human defined is someone who's able to be multidimensional. After you get this knowledge, you don't want to be linear no more and one-dimensional because you are moving too slow through the evolutionary process, and you will not be able to cope against the artificial matrix and all of its programs that's suppressing and repressing your consciousness in this experience. So as someone who's able to be multidimensional while unifying energy from the synchronicities of natural time cycles towards the holonomic, which is whole, evolution of humanity, Mother Earth, and the galactic whole, which you will find as you study the self, that they're all different versions of each other. The self is another version of the planet. The planet is another version of the galaxy. The galaxy is another version of the universe, the multiverse, the cosmos. Just like the cells in your body, part of the circulatory system part of the body part of the biosphere, the earth, atomic, molecular, macro, and micro is all in the whole mind, the law of holonomy. And it's time for us to embrace this concept on this day so that we can celebrate a new celebration on January 1st. You can celebrate with me the end of false times, and your fireworks will be different from the other fireworks in the city. Your fireworks will now freeing you from the artificial matrix and taking you into your evolutionary trajectory, so you never have to go back to 1/1,000,000th of your mind, but you ain't gonna be satisfied until you at 1/1,000,000th 1,000,000 millionths of your mind, one whole mind, your complete potential, and watch what you're able to do in your life experience. Do you think you could be targeted then? Do you think you can be missed opportunities then? Do you think that you could be in a position to be colonized then? You can't colonize a mind like this because it is beyond the planet. Your mind is beyond the planet. Your brain is the instrument that processes what's beyond the planet, so you can acquire what's beyond the planet, and so you can have the power over your experience on the planet. Is anybody with me? And those of you that are not afraid to take possession back of your mind and stop complaining about what you don't have, I'm about to give you something that you can have, that you have to be responsible for, but nobody can control but you. What a gift on this Christmas day that they call on the Gregorian calendar. What's something to celebrate on January 1st than to take possession back of your own mind and watch your reality respond with enthusiasm? Now is time, right? And time is the evolution of consciousness has come upon us. We're in the eve. Look at the Pacquiao thinking about and contemplating. And look at what he's doing. He's sitting there with his arm folded like this. And this is I want you to sit there too. And you say, I just got a gift. And these next 6 days, I'm about to prepare to evolve in time, the evolution of consciousness in space like never before. Look at me. He's sitting up here on his knees. They don't look at that sun. That sun is sitting there. They don't know what's about to happen to them in this time, the new time. Whatever this Nebtaharka that I can't pronounce, whatever he's talking about, I can't act like it don't make sense to me no more. I have to now choose my logic over my fears. But when I choose that logic, my life is going to change, and I'm never going to be able to go back to the way. What they say, once your mind has been stretched, it can never go back to its original state. And why would you want to go to 1/1,000,000th when you can go to 100 million, over 100 million, and be a whole mind that you've never been able to be? All right, just a couple of things, couple of announcements tomorrow. If you want to get familiar with your KIN number that gives you access to this mind I'm talking about, plug in tomorrow, inbox me. I'm interested in learning more about my KIN and what it is. Then come tomorrow. I don't have the time to explain today, but it will change your life. It will give you a path. It will give you an ideal of yourself that will help you in ways that you've never been helped in your whole life. Okay, so tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be covering this. So copy the link or message me. I will check my messages tonight and make sure you get it. And let me tell you something. Make sure that you are in time for a time. That means make sure that you're in the evolution of consciousness when this clock time starts. Don't be late for your own evolution. Be early for it. Anticipate it. All right. Be there or be square. Also, we are going to be right back here next Wednesday for Sync Talk, and this is called Quantum Leaping into the New Time. I'm going to show you a technique of how, if you pay attention to what I say, I'm going to take an aspect of this cosmology and I'm going to show you, right? Aspect and inspect. I'm going to show you how to take you're wherever you are now and evolve into the consciousness that you want to be to accomplish what you want. That's going to be next Wednesday, so don't miss it. Also, join us on the cleanse, on the resonant moon of attunement. This is the 13 moon calendar. The resonant moon is the 7th moon, so it's in the middle of the 13 moon. It balances the first 6 moons and the second 6 moons. And so we asked the question, how do I tune my service to myself and others? So we will be actually doing a 28-day cleanse starting on January the 10th. And let me tell you, we will also be starting our 22nd consecutive semester or term of teaching this. And so this is the first time that we ever did it on a fast. Very, 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 very powerful time. So you don't want to miss that. And so our declaration to evolution. All right, I want you to repeat after me. I declare, say, I declare to evolve, right? In every opportunity that I can evolve, right? I want you to say, I will listen to my intuition, which is geared towards evolving. Now, if you want to know, is it the devil or God? Because we're both. I hate to say that, but you think the devil is something out there, you think God is something there. No, it's your consciousness. It's your state of consciousness that you choose, right? That you have availability to, access to, right? And so how do you know if it's the devil or if it's God? God is going to take you into the space of evolution, and the devil is going to take you to the space of devolution. You're going to devolve into a limited space, a limited version of yourself, an isolated version of yourself. And so it's the divide and conquer. And that's how you know subtly it's going to feel good to be by yourself. You're going to be isolated for the annihilation. So the more that you evolve it, the more that you're following the synchronicities, you know, you're being led by your intuition. You're being led by God. You're being led by the essence of God, and you can't lose. So the declaration of evolution is that I declare to evolve. Say it again for me. I declare to evolve. Say it again. I declare to evolve. Another thing you need to say, I will listen to my intuition. Say it. I will listen to my intuition. One more time. Say it. I will listen to my intuition. And one more thing. I will follow the instructions when received. Say it with me. I will follow the instructions when received. Say it again. I will follow the instructions when received. And those instructions don't come from me. They don't come from, your spiritual or your religious modality. It comes from your heart. It comes from the self, the unlimited power of God in you. I declare and I decree in this moment and every moment forward to evolve. There are 1,440 moments in one day, and every single last one of them, I declare and I decree to evolve, and you need to declare and decree that you will evolve as well. It's been my pleasure as well as a privilege sharing this moment and these moments with you. I know they're valuable. I know some of you are around family. I know some of you are in the gap, figuring out, do I go left or do I go right? And some of you are already on the path of evolution. Wherever you are, I give thanks to you for the time you've taken away from what you could be doing to spend it with me. And remember, evolution is the solution. But let's do this. Let's all evolve together. The time is now to stake your flag in the ground and to take what's rightfully yours. Possession of your whole mind. In Lakesh, I am another you. Alakin means you are another me. Hotep, Hetepu, and Namaste. And don't you forget from this point forward that evolution is the solution. We'll see you on the upcoming cycles. Message me, and I look forward to evolving together. May you enjoy the rest of your evening and celebrations. Peace.
the time when we were one with the sun, and all the joy that we had